20 seconds. All of our race birds here starting to build it up to get ready to go for this semifinal 6.
Yeah, big start. Lots of jeopardy, lots on the line here. How are they going to choose? What's the strategy going to be at the start?
You see Eva Malere Hagen going way outside. Emma this time, who used that to a good effect earlier as well. She's on the inside line. We are bows out, the last of the semifinals, and Emma Kymäläinen easing into the lead. You see that? I saw her raise up like that, and the first time she never actually dropped down, but the second two she did. And Michele Lobadan doing a really nice job for Aoki Racing, and right as I say it, the boat goes a little bit unstable here.
But it is Emma Kymäläinen and Team Brady that takes the first corner in the lead and now has the chance to build a gap just like her teammate Sam Coleman did, again, to just have another win under their belts. They're such a dominant team, Greg.
It's just been incredible, and she does not have to overcome a second long lap. She just has to do the one. So let's see what kind of pace she's going to be able to generate. At the end of the first sector from the start, she built up a 3.6 second lead over Michele Lobadan for Aoki Racing. There's a look on board at Emma, and she wears that big visor that comes down. There's a little bit of brightness out there just to give her a little bit better vision here. Here she comes through turn 6 and now entering that really tricky section of track.
Now look at this graphic on the right. There's very, very minimal change to the trim. We're talking like 0.1, 0.2 at a time outside of the corners, which means that the setup that they've chosen is just working for them, and they can sit with that foil perfectly above the water and maintain stability, just like we're seeing here now. Not a lot of movement in the nose cone, just gliding, flying above the water.
Yeah, she came through. That was one of the better runs with speed we've seen through turn 7. Really, really good here. Now, it's found a little bit of instability here, and this water, there's a wind that's picking up. It's a little bit more choppy, you can see it, but she's opened up a lead now of 7.5 seconds. And this is exactly what she wanted to do, just build that lead. And we found that if you get up to about a 10-second lead, generally that's enough to do the long lap and maintain that lead. That's the target, if you will. Eva Malere Hagen is another 7 seconds adrift in that third spot right now. But look at that water. When you see that lower shot, it's definitely a little rougher than it was this morning.
Yeah, it's definitely picked up, and all that does is, it increases the work for the pilots to have to do on the whole course, but crucially, that point at turn 7, the bit that's nearest to the edge of the water, having that kind of water coming the other direction creates that turbulent water and makes that turn 7 a little bit spicy, a bit challenging, which we can see, as we saw in practice and qualifying, really throw the race birds off their line. So far, it seems to be going okay for Emma Kymäläinen, who's now got an 8-second gap, maybe just short of a 1.5, 2 seconds of what she might need in order to do the long lap without with scot-free.
And again, looking at where the scenario sits here, Eva Malere Hagen is back a little bit now, about 14 seconds back. So I'm not sure that she really is going to go do that long lap this early. Normally, if you're in that third spot and you're close to the second boat, you do the long lap, try and get out of that sort of churned up water. But she's far enough back right now, I don't know that she's really into that. And tell you what, Michele Lobadan just set an astoundingly quick second sector, and she's trimmed that back down to 7 seconds from over 10. That is a great sector, the first sector from Michele. If she keeps this kind of pace up, watching what she does in this second sector, she's starting to take a run at it. It's down to 6.5 seconds right now. So she is really putting together a run here. We've seen her have these kinds of turns of speed. Now Emma Kymäläinen, Saunders, fastest second sector.
Yeah, great work. Again, looking at the graphic here of the Aoki race bird as well. The trim moving a lot more up and down, moving 2-3 points at a time at times, unlike Team Brady that were really just kind of sitting in that perfect spot above the water, whereas it doesn't seem to be as balanced for Aoki, who are now gone into their long lap. And Perez still have that to go, but Aoki Racing in their long lap right now. Let's see where they come out. Have they got a big enough gap to maintain the position on Sergio Perez? Team Checo behind. Yes, they do by the looks of it.
Boy, and I'll tell you, that was a stellar second sector. And of course, Michele Lobadan now doing that long lap. So, but it was a great second sector from Emma Kymäläinen, but a good one for Michele. She's doing a superb job here. She's got that long lap out of the way. and she is just gassing it. Well, you can't even say that these days, can you? She's spooling it up here and giving it everything she possibly can. But it's a big, big margin now that Emma has. Should be able to do that long lap and be just fine with it. And Team Brady continuing. You know, we saw the dominance, obviously, from Team Rafa in that 5th semifinal. But Sam Coleman coming through, overcoming a second long lap penalty and still winning in dominant fashion. And Emma backing that up here right now with another great run.
Yeah, Brady, of course, if things stay the same, will finish the semi-finals with 12 points, the same as Team Rafa. But Aoki, really a turning performance, you know, potential to finish with 8 points level with Westbrook and maybe get themselves into their first final.
It's entirely possible with this performance. I'm looking to see, does Michelle go for the long lap now? She does not. She's already done it. It's Emma Kimmelainen who is, that's what it was, going for the long lap right now. Judging that when she comes through, she should still have some pretty good smooth surface here in terms of the water right now. And that's where the engineer and the spotter up high, they're looking at those gaps, and they're the ones that can tell you, yeah, do that long lap now. You're going to be fine when you come out of it. And she completes the long lap, and she's already still 11 seconds up.
Yeah, it's just dominant performance. It's what we've seen, you know, not just this weekend, but we've seen it for multiple weekends now. Just Team Brady have adapted so well to E1, to life in E1, to electric powerboat foil racing, a completely unique thing, and they've just picked it up so quickly.
Yeah, we are seeing a great performance and a true explanation, if you will, if you're wondering about why Team Brady's leading in the points. It's because of these types of performances. And there you can see Emma pivoting around turn number 3 and coming down now into these final few corners here as she is putting together a great run on this final lap, stretching that margin out here for semi-final number 6. And Brady looking to continue what has been a really dominant semi-final run. And here she comes, Saunders, last turn. She hasn't made any kind of a mistake yet. It's been absolutely perfect. She can ease her way through that final turn. Here she comes, Brady, matching Rafa, sweeping their semifinal.
Despite the obstacles against them with long lap penalties, they have maximized the points available across these semi-finals, topping the combined standings, 12 points straight into the final, and one step closer to winning E1's first championship.
And how about a big shout out here to Michelle Lobadan for Aoki Racing, a really solid run into second, really fast in a few of the sectors, putting up a great number in winning comfortably or finishing comfortably in second. Here comes Eva Mallory-Hagen for Team Checo trying to come up here, but you got it, yeah, with those 8 points. It'll be interesting to see Aoki Racing. Will they make their first final? They're on the cusp, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's just going to be, they're level on points with Westbrook. Whether it goes back, they both had 4 points in each of the semi-finals. Does it go back to qualifying? Unfortunately, that would mean Aoki don't get their first final. So yeah, we'll have to see how that pans out. But as it stands, Team Brady dominant once again, straight into the final. And Team Checo finishing with 6 points, same as, interestingly, Miami.
You got to be impressed with Emma Kimmelainen, you know, considering where she came from. And yes, she's familiar with all this stuff happening on the steering wheel that some of the powerboat racers aren't. But to have that level of feel out there and be able to, you know, to run like she does, you know, obviously she's a quick study and learns a lot from Sam Coleman and the team. But you don't have that kind of performance without the gift.